Good morning everybody from beautiful Portugal. I just want to give you a quick update on the chicken situation. So we finally have our fence. It's about 1.15 meters high, and so far the cats have been respecting it, and so have most of the chickens. We've got one chicken, we've named her Ginger now, like the permanent outbreaker in Chicken Run, because she just keeps getting out. They're still small enough to push through the fence if they really want to, and theoretically they could jump over if they really wanted to, because it's, only 2 meters are really high in the end of the day, and what we're having here is just a bit more than half. And this is actually the second positioning that I've put it in. So because I'm trying to have them work different areas, and I also want to do some work in the other section, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, where they've been busy for the past almost 2 weeks already. Want them to play around a little bit here. Also, it's a test, because ultimately I want to fence the whole vegetable garden as well as the back section for the ducks and the chickens. And I'm hoping to prevent cats from going into the veggie garden, chickens and ducks from going into the veggie garden. Hello, lovelies. You guys are having fun. And give them a designated space where they can actually roam and scratch and forage and scavenge and all the things they do. The whole fencing is 50 meters, and I actually ended up having to order it from Germany because it wasn't possible to get anything here in Portugal. A local store where you just walk in, buy it, walk out. No chance. I tried that. They only had stuff for sheep, and even there they just had like one. I don't really like it. If I have the choice of one thing, I wouldn't really call that a choice. But we're at the bottom of Europe here, so we do have issues around these types of things. Any type of, there's no such thing as same day or next day delivery here. We don't have eBay, we don't have Amazon, so it's acquiring things here is a little bit more complicated, more like how it used to be. And then this section here is where I had the chicken roam before. So basically I had it fenced off from here, pretty much where this section is sitting now, but then it would go all the way through here, and all along up until the very front, so I had it connected through here, and then just around our very, just stopping in front of our extremely unsuccessful banana circle. Yet I know the soil is terrible, so they can't really develop well. So I had them do some work here. One of the interesting findings already is that we've got so many stones, and we also have rocks, like the bigger stones, but we do have plenty of stones, and they've been doing a really great job digging them out from the surface area or loosen them up. And because I'm on a mission here to gradually remove all the stones, as many stones as possible from the property, or like from their randomness of where they occur, I'll now move them over here, over there, and here in this section. Today and tomorrow I'm going to just try to collect stones and do some work and look at what they have done, because most of the time I'll just let them do their thing, make sure they don't get out, and then I'll do my thing. But I want to have an understanding of what actually has happened here with regards to scratching and digging, and all these kinds of things, in order to understand better their work and their pace and their priorities, if there is any such thing besides wanting to eat more food. Either way, I'm really happy with the fencing. The power unit apparently can support up to 60 kilometers of, yes, I electrified it. although I do have some issues with it, which I believe is just because I haven't grounded it properly. I think the grounding's too close to the fence. I think you need to get that a bit further away, maybe get it, you know, deep into the ground, whatever. But it helps. At least it gives me a little bit of peace of mind. But the cats have been quite well at the moment. They don't interfere with the chickens. They've actually, I think, become more of their guardians, because we do have a few stray cats here in the area, and they do scare away the stray cats because obviously they don't belong here, so they're chasing them out, which ultimately keeps the chickens safe. All right, ladies, say hi. No, you know, the great feast is later. For now, you have to help yourselves. So, you know, this is just a 20-meter fence, no, 50-meter fence. And at the end, you barely feel the pulse of the electricity when you touch it. Of course, they have a different sensitivity. They're smaller animals compared to us. So for them, it might already be more intense. But even they still push through the fence on a regular basis. When they will be a bit bigger, like our biggest one, who's now in the back, you can't see her. Her name is Pickle. She would not be able to push through, but obviously she would be able to jump over, or jump fly, as I like to call it. Either way, you know, it was a pretty affordable solution. The fence unit, I think, was €100, and the power unit was same. But obviously I will only need one of those, and I'm planning to buy 2 or 3 more of these fences, so I can have, you know, a lot of space for them to work independently without me having to constantly feed them. I still obviously feed them every day, substantial amounts, especially while they're growing, but also because you know, I want them to be healthy and have all the nutrients they need. But that also includes more protein and more whatever they feel like eating, for which I have to have them outside and just, you know, dig. We've got a big slater problem here, so I'm hoping for them to do a little bit of work on those. We've got lots of bugs and insects as well, so we don't have a lot of worms because the soil is very compacted, very heavy in clay, so they won't be finding a lot of those, but they'll find other things and they'll be all right. So yeah, it was a good solution. I had made a different plan with like crazy fencing. It's just like, you know, 100% guarantee, nobody in, nobody out, but it would have completely ruined the atmosphere of the garden. It would have cost a fortune, like multi-folds. So this is good. This works. This is not dog safe. I can't imagine anyone considering this dog safe, because, you know, dog could just, unless there's really high voltage on the fence, which, you know, could potentially even be a risk for the chickens, or that might keep them in or out depending on what you're trying to do. I can't see this stopping a dog. They will just push through. Like, pretty sure you could even break it down, like not the metal part that's holding up the fence, but the plastic bit, or, you know, it would just bend down and then they're in, and then the chickens are gone. So I don't really see that. Also, there's a big issue with the stability of the actual fencing, insofar as that, of course, it hangs down. If you do any corners, you have them bend, you know, like this, which then lowers the fencing like it is over here. But, you know, looking at what it did cost and what I got for it, I'm pretty happy with it, and it seems to work. But you still, in this setup, I would still recommend to like properly fence your perimeter, so that they can't get out of there and nothing of severity can go in the main section, and then have those as subdividers. And that's how I currently see it. Let's see, once I have got a bit more experience and maybe a break-in attempt or something I don't want to have here, maybe I have a different opinion on it. And obviously try to improve the general design and setup anyway, in order to make sure there's enough voltage on it. Maybe I need to read into increasing that and what would be required, which obviously would mean I would have to buy a second device and have a spare one, and I would have wasted money. But you're finding something there. That's amazing. And I would appreciate if you guys could not poop on the stones, but you know, poop anywhere else but on the stones. Like, that would be beneficial for the garden. I don't know if we can agree to that, because normally you wouldn't poop because you wouldn't eat here, so I'm amazed you're finding something. Anyway, that's the fencing and the chicken update. Still don't have an egg, so before we close, let's see. Well, they're reasonably busy, and of course they will come because they think that they will get food, and it's always a challenge to make sure to not step on them as they run around like crazy. They do like to run under my feet. So, ladies, toot toot, toot toot. There's nothing here, so I'm just gonna have a look. You coming? You never go in here. These guys always sleep outside, like in a row or a patch or a corner. But they don't. I mean, obviously this isn't ideal for roosting, because I think the edge, you know, the edge is too sharp, and it might not be too comfortable. Even though they do roost in other crazy places, and they can obviously get up, but maybe it's not. Yeah, it doesn't look chill to stay. So maybe and I've got that on my to-do list. Hello. Yeah, is to, you know, to cut this a bit smooth, so that that it's more comfortable to sit on, so that they can maybe start moving their roosting and overnight stay. I would feel more comfortable if they could move that here. Also, when they are ready to start laying eggs, I would prefer that to be in here rather than, you know, somewhere completely random. Hello, ladies. Yeah, I love you. You're fun. Huh? But there's nothing here really. Gotta go play outside. Okay? Okay. Alright, I'll see you on the next update.